So I was having this thought after reading that quote I just posted by Waldo Emerson that says, "People's opinion of the world is a confession of their character," and it reminds me of this conversation that I was having with a couple, and the female, she was complaining about Americans and how Americans are ungrateful and all this other stuff about Americans, and I asked her, were you born in America, or were you born in you're in another country and outside of the U.S.? And she was like, no, I was born in the U.S. And so I reminded that individual, I was like, you understand that you're an American, right? So you're criticizing Americans about being a certain type of way, and more likely than not, 9 times out of 10, you're probably that person that you're criticizing and you're talking back. I wasn't as direct as I just put it, but I was, you know what I'm saying? In other words, made it simple. Like, how you gonna be complaining about who you are? Like, you likely also have never left America, so you don't even know how, like, you know what I'm saying, how the world really is. Like, I remember the first time I went to Afghanistan, and when I was getting off this helicopter in Afghanistan at the patrol base, I looked around and all I saw was mud huts, like houses made of mud for miles on end everywhere. And I was like, yo, I feel as though I went back in time to like the year 300 or something like that. You hear what I'm saying? That was humbling. That experience for me was so humanizing that it just gave me a completely different outlook on life. Like, I literally looked out and I felt as though I went back 1800 years. You know what I'm saying? 1700 years, 1500 years. I was like, yo, what year is it here? Because I don't think it's 2022 or 20, you know what I'm saying? 20, what was it? 2010, 2011, and in 2012. So it wasn't no 2010 over there when I went over there. It was like 350 or 550. But, people will judge you by the content of their own character. Oftentimes, people are judging you, and when you look at them, it's like, you do not see the hypocrisy. Like, you're speaking negatively about my breath, but your breath is hot. You know what I'm saying? You see, as the good book says, you see the log in my eye, but you don't see the one in yours. Judge not, lest ye be judged also. I've had talks with religious fanatics, and they try to tell me that unless I become a born again Christian, or unless I worship God in some way and worship the name of a man, then I will never see the kingdom. Like, fam, I live in the kingdom. You get what I'm saying? I am the Son and the Father. I've learned to father myself and to self-correct. Have you done the same? Have you accepted the Most High? The problem with religiosity and a lot of people in general is that, they share the knowledge and then they expect you to apply it as they did. And even quicker than they did, because they share the knowledge with you right now and they expect you to apply it right then and there. And if you don't, then you're a fucking failure. I've learned to be patient with people. Plant the seed, and if the soil is fertile, all I can do is hope and have faith, expecting the best, and believe, you know what I'm saying, that with the love that I give it and the intention that I put behind it, this individual will gain the best out of it, and he will gain what is necessary in that time. And with time, each and every one of us, you know what I'm saying, each mind is a world, collectively living in the world of the all, in the mind of the all, in the mind of what we today call God, the idea of God, right? The idea of good. And hopefully, the majority of us have an idea of a God that is righteous, that is good, that is virtuous, you know what I'm saying? And that, we don't fall prey to believing, to the idea that there is no God because we see so much wrong, you know what I'm saying? And instead, we start embodying the idea of that lower aspect, that other negative force, right? Because there's a positive and there's a negative force. The positive force we may call the idea of God, and the negative force we consider the idea of the devil, right? And if we lack the capacity to, think in these ways, then we fall prey to the others. But each individual is his own individual, and the best thing you can do is become the best. And to me, honestly, I believe the best thing that each and every one of us can do is become the best, the best version of ourselves as individuals, to embody those qualities that we wish to see in others. He'll be able to apply whatever other wisdom he obtained in the conversation or from other experiences. But you don't have to worship or do things the same way other people do it. You know what I'm saying? You are an individual.